Hi everyone, good morning. I hope you are able to hear me. Can anyone please confirm?
Yes, Bhaskar.
Okay. So I need any one of your screen to create a community edition. So I'll just give a brief idea about it, then you can say any one of you. So from today, we are going to start talking about Azure Databricks. So that is our main target. This Azure Databricks it is available only with the paid premium capacity. Okay, so premium capacity is available. So if you wanted to do the practice with this one, you have to pay the license. Okay. So Microsoft will give 15 days free of cost to utilize this, but later 15 days it is going to be charged. Okay. So apart from that, instead of spending time with the premium capacity, we can have a alternatively if you wanted to go for education purpose. For education purpose, we have a Databricks is a company, right? So Databricks is associated with the Azure. So we are calling that as a Azure Databricks. So Databricks is a company, and this is providing a community edition for practicing purpose, for educational purpose. For educational purpose, we have a Databricks community edition. Okay, so till few days back, it was available for Databricks community edition, and these people also started a free version of the Databricks. Free Databricks edition. Okay, so because I got one pop-up today, only for older users, it is going to be available. This community edition is going to be available for older users. For the new users, whoever is going to create, and they're going to have a free database community edition. Sorry, free Databricks edition. Okay, so not sure is there any specific number of days available, but when it comes to here, it is going to be available lifetime. If you don't use continuously 3 months, then it is going to be deleted. But I have a account with the community edition, and if you're an older user, you can use the same, or you can use the free Databricks edition. We don't need to pay anything for this. Okay, but if you go with this, you need to pay. So most of the practice that we are going to do with the free version or Databricks community edition. Only I'm going to use this Azure Databricks for a real-time project. Only for project only, I'm going to use this Azure Databricks. Okay, so mostly we are going to use community edition for educational purpose. I hope everyone is clear. Any question here?
Yeah, but so Databricks and Azure Databricks, though not both are different, right?
Both are same only.
Okay.
Both are same only. Only thing is here compute is provided by Databricks, and here compute is provided by Azure. Only system is provided by Azure. Your
Okay.
software and framework is the right. That is going to be same to same, no changes. Okay. Now to understand this Databricks,
But for our practice purpose, so we need to use, I mean, we cannot use the premium version. Means you can
no,
pay and we can use it.
yeah, if you are interested to pay, you can use the premium version. No worries.
Yeah, for the cluster creation and use.
Yeah, no problem. And one more thing is, I feel personally for
Which,
educational purpose, I recommend to go with the community edition because it will not give a indulgence. I mean, indulgence is fine, but AI is not integrated with the community edition. But when you come to this premium edition, AI is integrated. So what happens is when the moment you type some code, it is going to get automatically. So for learning purpose, it will disturb, I feel personally. But you try. If that is fine, then you can continue with the Azure Databricks.
yeah, Yes.
You got my
But
point, right?
yeah, thanks. So is
Yeah.
it cost more or okay? No.
More and more flexibilities
Yeah.
when you compare with this, because it is having only IntelliSense, like syntax and all we can see, but this is not like that. It is going to give a code itself. What you are going to write in the next line, it will give.
Yeah, I saw Copilot also. So,
Yeah, Copilot is integrated.
yes.
Okay.
And
And
it
to
will cost more or it's okay. I mean, we can
can you repeat again?
like what about the cost? It is going
Cost
to
is more only. Okay, so because of that reason, I don't recommend.
uh,
Okay, so minimum 1,000 you will get per month only for
uh,
Databricks.
minimum. I can
1,000 you will get if you practice 1 to 2 hours
okay, daily.
daily. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
But
It
it
may
is
go
worth
little more also. It may go little more also.
yes.
Depends on the compute. You have to take a single single node for
Yeah,
practicing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it is worth, right? Means we can utilize
There
that.
will be no difference between these two for practicing.
Hmm.
You can feel that.
Oh,
Okay. Same window, same look and feel. Okay. So I'm suspecting this free Databricks edition. Maybe they also integrated AI.
okay.
Okay. So if we create it, then I can get to know is that having a AI is integrated or not.
So means people like to choose the premium capacity, then you would
It's a
like
real
to,
time only. Real
yeah.
time uses only premium. Even if you go for Databricks also, always uses the premium only.
That is worth doing, right? Means because we are
Yeah,
using
and that is only difference that where you can find much differences. Here you can restart the cluster once you create a
burning.
cluster,
Yes.
but here you cannot restart a cluster because once it is created, if you don't use for continuously 1 or 2 hours, it will be terminated automatically. When you do practice on tomorrow, you have to recreate the cluster. Your code will be there, everything will be remain same. The only thing is cluster will be terminated completely. But here also terminated, but it allows you to restart because you're paying you're paying here licenses, you're paying price, right? So they are giving a feasibility to restart the cluster. But here you have to recreate the cluster and every day for practicing.
Yes.
Okay, so some features are not available in the community edition, and here some features are available with respect to cluster, and a few things are not available in the community edition. But you don't feel most of the things, 90% of the things are available to learn. Okay, so you don't need to go for premium. If you're interested, you can go. But I'm going to take you through the premium edition only at the time of project. Okay. Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, if I wanted to explain about this Databricks, or if you wanted to work with Databricks, you need to know few things. Okay, so I'll give a brief idea about it once the Python is completed. Why it is Azure Databricks, why they associated with Azure, and how exactly the journey was started. I'll give those details. For time being, I just directly jump into a Python. Okay, so if you want to understand this Databricks, basically, if you want to understand this Databricks, we required PySpark. Okay, so Databricks is the extended version of your PySpark. Extended version of the PySpark is your Databricks. Okay, so why they have created a Databricks on top of the PySpark, I'll give the clarity later some days. And to understand this PySpark, we required Python. We required Python. So why Python is required is because of this. A PySpark is a framework to provide the solution for your big data. Okay, so Python plus Spark engine. Okay, so what is a Spark engine and how Spark architecture is going to work. We'll talk about all these theoretical points before going to the Databricks. Okay, so to understand this PySpark, we require Python. So Python, only the basics are much more enough for us. We don't need to go for too much details of the Python because we are not a Python developers. Python is also having a concept called data frame. I mean, there is a data frame API, a data frame module is there in Python. Okay, but we also have a data frame here. We also have a data frame. Here, Python data frame is pandas. Okay, Python data frame is pandas here. And so people thinks that we need to know about the pandas also. Okay, but we don't need to learn about these pandas because we are not going to work with the Python framework. We are going to work with the PySpark. So PySpark is a framework. We are having a lot of modules here. Okay, so a lot of modules are APIs we are having as part of the PySpark. And what is the difference between this data frame and this data frame is this data frame works with the single machine. It works with the single machine. It cannot work with the parallel. Whereas this data frame is going to work in a distributed manner. The data will be distributed. The processing also is going to be distributed if you go with the PySpark. The PySpark is a distributed framework. This is not a distributed framework. So that is one of the major difference between the data frame in Pandas and data frame in a PySpark. Why PySpark is much more important is because of that. And if you know this data frame here, you can feel some similar kind of things in the Python side also. But we are not going to work as a Python developers. We are going to work as a Azure data engineers. And data engineers always going to use the either Databricks or they're going to use the PySpark. So what happens if you use the PySpark and what happens if you use the Databricks? We'll see that particular journey later few days. And here my intention is if you wanted to work with the Databricks or PySpark, we require Python. So Python basics are required. Now, how can we practice this Python? Do we need to install Python? If you ask me, I say no, we don't need to install Python. We can use a Databricks Community Edition for doing your practice. Okay, so in order to do your Python practice, we can use the Databricks Community Edition. Or if you wanted to install in your system, you can install it. It's up to you. But I go with the Community Edition. Is everyone clear?
Yes, boss.
Okay, perfect. Now, if any one of you share your screen, then I'll show you how we can create a Databricks Community Edition account.
Yeah, Bhaskar, can I share my screen?
Yeah, please. Can you search for Databricks Community Edition? No. Hold on. Come down, little down. Yeah, and there is a free edition. Now it is formerly Databricks Community Edition. Okay, so let's go with the free editions. The second, the top one. Yeah, just take that one. Okay, so log in with the free edition and free sign up. Okay, so now you can see if you go for other tab, the previous tab, you can see learn professional data and AI tools. Okay, no, there only not that one. Whatever you selected, that is the correct one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just accept all or something. Yeah, just provide your Gmail. Continue with Google. Not with, we are going with Azure Databricks. Okay, somewhere we missed it. Can you do it again? No, can you search again from the beginning? Somewhere we have chosen
Beginning, if I click here, login.
login free edition. Not login free edition. I guess we have to go with the sign up. They changed it. Previously it was not this. India. Submit. Okay, so for doing this practice, what we required is a cluster is required. Some compute is required. Okay, for that reason, what you can do is, but this is a free edition. It looks good. Okay, so in the left side, if you see, there is a compute. Little up, yeah, a little up, down. Yes. Okay, they changed many things, man. Not SQL warehouse, you have to take a compute. I think so. You have taken compute only. What is that vector search? Can you select that? Right side, right side, there only in the same window. SQL, yeah, vector search. Can you create it? Hit on create. Endpoint, not this endpoint. What is
Other,
this?
we can go for new notebook and then it will require that cluster, right? On that time, it will
Yeah,
take
that is also is one of the option we can do. Can you go to workspace?
new.
Plus new, there is a plus new.
Yeah, notebook. Yeah, generally we go here. Huh? Now connect it scan.
Yeah, connect to drop down. Left side, right side, sorry.
You can drop down, no, drop down. So it's gonna get serverless.
There is a more,
Yeah,
it more, drop down.
general purpose.
General compute,
Uh,
first check works.
mm,
Can you go for drop down? I think serverless only, right? Okay, so I think so. Start and attach, you can go. Let's go with the start and attach because they are giving a serverless only. So changes happened.
yeah, this is a new thing. So
So
node.
serverless means it basically it will be immediately available. We don't need to wait for some time. Yeah, can you write the printf in that place only? No, in the window start typing here. Just start print of Python, something like that.
But still, after this, can we see that premium version? Means if you have,
Sorry,
like
I
how
lost your
do
voice. Okay, so perfect. So that is working. For now, I'm going to show my screen with Community Edition. Later, I'll upgrade this one to the latest one. But you don't feel any much differences. Okay.
Okay.
Let me save my screen.
in Bhaskar, can we see any one time at least the premium version?
No,
The
in
creation
project,
of cluster?
do you want to see, like, in Azure Databricks, we have to create it.
Oh, not actually create, just that screen, how that look and feel.
Same to same will be there. There will be no difference. Whatever the free edition is looking, right?
Yes.
99% is same. Only if you see the community edition, you can see some differences here.
Now, for the creation of cluster, which we selected as serverless now, right?
Yeah,
How-
there is a compute will be there. Now here it is there, right? I'm going to show you compute. The same to same there also it will be there in the premium edition.
oh,
Okay, so if I go to the compute here, let me create compute. Whatever the
uh,
options are there in the here, the same options will be there in the premium also. Okay, so you can have a cluster, but here I'm just having a single node cluster only. I'm not having much more flexible here. And 15 GB free space, basically, we are going to get, since it is a serverless, we don't need to worry about it. If we use it, it will be available. If we don't use it, it will not be available. So that is how they integrated with the latest Databricks free edition. Okay, so that is the only difference. The cluster is not available, except that it is very much similar. But here we are going to have a cluster, and I'm going to create it. It takes a couple of minutes to spin up.
and this is latest runtime, just we need to select. That is one thing.
You can leave the default, whatever it is there.
Oh,
Basically, this will be taken care by administrators. So I'll talk about this, basically what is a cluster and what versions will be there. We'll see. So here my primary focus for now is only to talk about Python.
so here the driver and all, the memory and all, it is being chosen by automatically, right? Here.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
It's a fixed one only here. But
mm.
in a premium, you can select what you want.
Uh, that is why they are calling premium.
Yeah. Go with the free edition. Okay. So Databricks free edition is much more enough. I feel it is very much similar to premium, even the options.
Bhaskar, is that the Databricks that just now installed, right?
Mhm.
Is that the lifetime?
Yeah,
Uh,
lifetime only.
uh,
Lifetime only. As soon as we are using, it will be available.
okay.
I think so. It will be available,
Mm.
but because we have not seen anywhere, it will expire so and so date
Yes.
while
Yes.
creating, so it will be available. Because of that reason, they have given a serverless.
Mhm.
Now cluster is up and running. You can see the green circle. Okay. So once you have done this, how can we create a notebook that I'm just going to give? You can say just plus new notebook. So I'm just giving some name for this notebook. We used to call it as a notebook basically. And in Data Factory, we are calling that as a pipeline, ADF pipeline. Here it is a Databricks notebook or notebook. We can say a data. We can also call this as a data pipeline also because we are going to deal with the data. So I need to select the cluster basically in real time. Definitely you'll be having an interactive cluster, and maybe in the future they may give even there also in a serverless. In my case, we are using a directly cluster only. Interactive cluster we are using. Okay, so I've selected whatever the cluster I have created. It is selected, then only you can run it. If you want to run something here, then you need to have a cluster. That is one thing you have to keep in mind. And other thing is, by default, I selected Python here. In the Azure, in the Databricks, when I say Databricks, that is a Azure Databricks or GCP Databricks or AWS Databricks. All Databricks are very much similar. There is no change. Okay, so Databricks is a company, they associated with the Azure, they associated with the AWS, and they associated with GCP also. Okay, so by default, it is giving Python. Why? Why it is giving Python is because Python is more and more popular, and it is having too many libraries. If you wanted to do something which is not available in PySpark, that is possible to do it with the Python. So because of that reason, Python is available. And apart from that, we can also use the SQL, we can use the Scala, and we can use the R. In PySpark, we don't have an option to write the SQL. Okay, so we have a Python, Scala, and R. Okay, so you can write it. Not sure about the SQL, still I'm having a doubt. Spark SQL was there, but only directly SQL is not available, if I'm correct, because I did not work with the PySpark directly. It's a raw edition. So PySpark is a raw, and Databricks is a on top. Databricks is a extended version of your PySpark. So it is selected Python by default. If you want to write a Scala code, you can choose the Scala. And if you wanted to write a SQL, you can write a SQL. Here, I wanted to go with the Python only. I'm just talking about Python basics. Let it be as it is. So I'm just writing print. If I wanted to print something, if you wanted to see the what is the value of the variable, okay, and you got some result. I wanted to see what is the result of that particular variable. And if I wanted to print something which is specific for me at the time of development, especially, even we can also keep in the production also. There will be nothing wrong if we keep the print statement. So print is just to print something on the console. Okay, so I'm just going to give welcome to Databricks. Let's execute it. You can see it. So if you want to execute this, what options are available? If you wanted to execute this command, okay, so you can also do the same thing in Python. Python IDEs are there. If you install Python, you can also have a command prompt. But I don't want to go with that because most of the times we're going to use the Databricks. Okay, so when you have a Databricks, then we don't need to go for other places to see. But if you wanted to check how exactly it is going to work with the Python IDEs, for Python itself, they have a IDEs we have a PyCharm or Anaconda, what is that? Jupyter notebook is there. So Jupyter is also there. Okay, so I don't want to go into that particular places. We can use this one. So here, if you wanted to run this, here itself, we can see the run button. You can use that. And there is a run all to run the entire notebook. Sometimes we need to run for all. Okay, so especially when you wanted to test any notebook, you may need to run the entire notebook. Okay, and if you want, instead of running all at one shot, you can go for one by one also, but you have to run by yourself. And one notebook can have a multiple commands. Okay, so multiple boxes will be there. You can have everything in single place, or you can have a multiple boxes or multiple command lines. So I can add, when I say code, you can see here code. Now, if you wanted to run this one with keyboard, we have a control plus enter. It executes and sits, and cursor sits in the same command. The same command. And one more thing is, the comments will be done by using this as. It's a single line command. Single line comment. So comment also is very important when you write any program. Why you're writing that particular code, you have to give a brief description about that particular change. So that you can do with the command, that we can do with the comment. And this is a single line comment, and how we can give a multi-line comment is going to be something different. I'll give that. Okay, so control enter, we can use the control enter to execute, and your cursor will sit on the same command or same line. Okay, so, and there is a one more option, that is shift plus enter. It executes and cursor will be moved to next command. So next command line is going to be, your cursor will be moved into the next line. So I'm just going to do it with control enter. Just observe, it is going to be available your cursor on the same command. But if I use now shift enter, then it will go to the next command. You can see it executed, and your cursor will move to the next. If I say again shift enter, again it will execute, and your cursor is available in the next command. So that is the difference between that. I hope here shift enter to run and move the next cell. Okay, so next cell, let's say something like this. Here they are given. Okay, control shift P to get the palette. We can use that. Okay, you can try with these keywords. Okay, but this is how we can write a single line comment if you wanted to write any comment. When you go for Python, the very first thing and very important is variable declaration. Variable declaration is very, very important. Okay, so this is very much common for wherever you go in the Databricks. Without a declaration of the variables, we never do anything. So that much important. If you wanted to pass some values from the data factory to your Databricks, then variables are required. Okay, variables are required, and we are going to use very frequently. So variables are used to store the values. So whatever the values you want to store, you can store it. You may store the numbers, you may store text values, or you may store a date and time, or true or false, anything that you can store it. So variables are a storage allocation. Okay, so storage will be there. I'm just giving some brief aid about it. These are used to store a values or data. we can store numbers, text, date, and I'm just giving others. So we can store anything here. Okay, so in the variables, we can store any kind of data. Collection of data you can store, and you can store single value and multiple values in a variables, we can store it. So how we can declare these variables? So declaration of the variables, I wanted to show you here. I wanted to store a equals to 10. A equals to 10. So this naming standards, you can have a underscore, but the variable name should not start with the numbers and so on. Okay, so we never start a variable with the numbers at the time of working even. And you don't feel even without knowing anything, you are going to follow the rules of your variables. Okay, mostly we are going to use the text, so you don't feel there are some rules are there for variables, and we don't even know about it. Okay, so the rules of variable declaration is all about Python freshers or something like that. Okay, so we are all working professionals, and we are going to work with Azure Databricks. So I'm not interested to talk about the rules of variables and so on. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how we can declare a variable. Okay, so just start only one rule I can say, just start a variable with the character. With the A to G character, you can choose. Okay, and special character also will be used, that is underscore. And variable names are, yeah, so let me give one point here. Variable names are case sensitive. Not only variable names, I'll say Python or Databricks is case sensitive. So that means lowercase a is not same as uppercase a. It's 100% case sensitive. Values are case sensitive, and even these variables, functions, whatever you are defining, everything is going to be case sensitive. Now a equals to 10. And if I say capital A equals to 10, both are different. But if you go for Java, then it is going to be very much similar. Or if you go for .NET, they are similar because they are not a case sensitive. But here both are different. How can you say both are different? I'm just specifying here a equals to 10. If I wanted to show you here, like, the print of a. If I give it, it is going to give it 10. So last time I printed directly I passed the value inside the print function. Now I'm passing the value inside the print function with the variable declaration. So I'm just passing the variable, whatever the value is there inside the variable, that is going to be printed here. And if I have a, I'm just giving here also, here itself, a equals to 10. And if I give a capital A and say 10 is there, but ID of this address will be there for every variable. Okay, so address of this A and address of this A is going to be different. So how can we do is, let me say print of small a comma ID of A. So ID is used to get the address of the variable. ID is used to get the address of the variable. Let's say something like this. It is used to get address of the variable. So print of A and ID of A. If I execute it, you can see this is a value is 10, and this is the address of the A. And I'm going to print again, print of capital A, comma, and ID of A, capital A. Now these two are going to have a different address. What is this? Same only, right? How it is possible? It's strange. Okay, because of the value is same. Okay, so let me give a different value. A equals to 20. Okay, understand. So I'm just going to give a different value here. A equals to 10 and capital A equals to 20. Okay, so the reason is basically what happens, one address will be created that is going to have a 10, and A is pointing to the same address, and lowercase a also is pointing to the same address because there is a same value. If it is having a different value, now a different address will be there for this capital A. Let's execute it again. Now you can see. So 10 is having a different address, and 20 is having a different address. So both are not both are not having same address. Okay, so it's a case sensitive. Your variables are case sensitive. That is one thing I wanted to say. Now, the next thing is we can store the numbers and we can store the text values. If you wanted to store the text values, I'm just going to give it here itself. Name equals to Bhaskar. And text will be enclosed in a double quote, or text will be enclosed in a single quote. Okay, so that is very quite common, and we are seeing from the data factory also. So data factory takes only in single quote, and whereas here it takes in a double quote also. Okay, it's a single line text. If you have a multiple line text, then we can have it three triple quotes. You can use it like three triple quotes. In between that, you can write any text. Okay, multiple line text if you have, then you can use this, or you can have a same to same three triple double quotes and triple double quotes. In between that, you can have a multiple lines of the text. Multiple lines of the text is going to be possible to define. That is one thing. Let me check what I've talked about it. Okay, so let me define all of them at one shot. Name is there, and B equals to 10.5 and C equals to true, something like this. And if you want to print of name, comma, ID of name, and print of b comma id of b, print of c comma id of c. So whenever there is a change in the cell, you have to re-execute it. Okay. So this is how we can declare the variables. It's very, very important, and many places we are going to use that. Okay. And the next is a data types. Okay, so data types are used to identify what type of data you are storing inside the variables. Data types are used to identify what type of data we are storing in the variables. So that means inside the variables, we can store the numbers, then we should know about the numbers. And we can, inside the variables, we can store the text values, then we need to know the text. So all those things we required. So I'm just going to say here is a equals to 10. This is a integer data type. Okay, and b equals to 10.5. It is a float data type. It's a number only. C equals to Bhaskar. It is a string data type. And d equals to true. It is a Boolean data type. Okay, so this is how we can declare. We know already how we can define the variables, and how do you know what type of data it is? You're saying a equals to 10, but you're not saying anywhere that is an integer. If you go for same thing in a Java or something, you're going to have a something like int a equals to 10, something like this. I'm not exactly sure, but explicitly we need to define the data type if it is a Java or .NET or some other languages. But when it comes to in Python, the data types will be assigned automatically. It's a dynamic data types. We don't need to say explicitly this is a number. We don't need to say explicitly this is a text. Automatically they're going to be identified. Automatically they're going to be identified. So because of that reason, we can say it is a dynamic data type supported by Python. And now a equals to 10. How do you know what type of data it is available or what type of data is there? So for that, we can use the function called type. It is used to get what type of data is stored in the variable. Now I wanted to say print of a comma type of a. Print of a comma type of a. Now I can say a value is 10, of type is integer. Print of b comma type of b. This is a float data type, and it is going to give, you can see here, 10.5 of type is float. Print of c comma type of c. What is this? C is a string. Okay, I did not execute. That's fine. Now I can see a print of c comma type of c is getting str. Str means it's a string data type. And print of d comma type of d. Now I can see true is a bool data type. Okay, it's a boolean. Okay, is everyone clear till now?
So no
And
need to declare anything. Means
yeah, we don't need to specify any data type.
Hmm. But dynamically, whenever we are executing some
Yes,
result,
dynamic
and
type.
we can assign to some like these characters or variable, so it will take that particular data type.
Yes,
No need to know
no
about.
need to do it. Everything will be taken care by Python itself.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so I will stop here. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about type conversion. Data type conversion, I'm going to talk about it. Okay. Any question before stopping? I hope you are following with me, right? Or I feel I'm going little slow for this batch because I wanted to type everything. I have all this code. I can walk you through this, something like this. Blah, blah, blah. It will be very faster. So I don't want to do that because based on the feedback of students, I'm just taking through. I wanted to type. Okay.
Yeah, but so like, what are the major like high level different topics you are going to cover in database?
In Python or Databricks.
Database. Yeah,
Databricks,
you can use.
Databricks only have two topics. One is RDD and data frame at a higher level.
Okay.
Only these two only we
It
are
is
going to
involving
use.
connecting with different files.
Yeah, we are going to see that.
Okay.
We are going to see.
Like, hmm,
First my concentration is on Python. I think it will take a week or 10 days to complete this Python.
okay.
And then we are going to start talking about the theory concept of PySpark. Okay, and it may take 2 days or 3 days it will take, and then we are going to jump into the Databricks. Okay, so inside the Databricks, we are going to talk about the PySpark. Okay, so when you are using the Databricks means you are using a PySpark only. But
Like,
this is a Python, pure Python you are executing, but PySpark modules are there, like
hmm,
data frame, RDD is a PySpark framework. Okay, so when we touch that, then only we can say that is a PySpark. You can feel that
so
that is a PySpark.
you are going to cover up like 1 month, like 30 days in this database.
It may go little more also. So feel that it may go for more than 30 days because I
Oh,
wanted to, if I use the existed notebooks, it will go faster. Okay.
yeah.
But
But
if I type it so that you people can follow with me.
okay, yeah, sorry.
You got my point, right? So when you are
Yeah.
doing a practice, you feel it is easy.
Yeah, it is actually going slowly to the mind. Yeah, what
Yeah,
is happening, yeah. Like we are doing, like.
yes, exactly.
So and then after PySpark, you told so it will come to the Databricks, do the
The
PySpark for the.
PySpark is just only theoretical part we are talking.
Uh-huh.
When you're writing a notebook here, and I'm going to talk about the RDD here.
Hmm.
When the moment I say RDD, that is a PySpark only.
Okay, after
Okay.
that, anything you are going to cover up by using PySpark with Databricks, like what are
With the
the
Databricks only. PySpark with Databricks.
yes.
So once you understand the theoretical concept after completion of this, then you can understand what is a PySpark and what is a Databricks.
So same thing, SED1, SED2, we are going to implement.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, sir. Or anything you are going to cover up.
These things only data related stuff only. Okay, Delta tables will be there, Delta Lake will be there as part of the Databricks.
Okay.
Okay. I think in PySpark it is not available, but in Databricks we have it. Spark SQL is there in Databricks.
Hmm. Yes, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, then we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining.